This is Coach Lee, and in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the dumper's experience. Take a quick second, click the subscribe button below so that you can be notified when I have more videos like this. And that includes videos on relationships, mindfulness, marriage, breakups, and success in life. So when someone is wanting their ex back, when they've been dumped, one of the most important things to them is knowing what's going on in the mind of their ex. And I have a video called The Mind of Your Ex. I also have a video called Stages Your Ex Goes Through. And I'm going to pull some points from those videos, but also expand on some others. I will link to those videos in the description below. I understand why it matters to you, what's going on with your ex, what they're experiencing, and what the day-to-day life for them is like right now, because you're wanting to know if you're getting closer to getting them back, if your odds are good, and because you're not getting to see them. You're not having that intimacy with them that would allow you to know what's going on in their life, what's going on in their everyday walk. Most of this depends on where your ex is at in this experience, what stage they're at. And again, from my video, Stages Your Ex Goes Through During No Contact, I talk about the first stage being relief. And one of the most popular questions in the comments is, how long does relief last? How long does the relief stage last in the experience of the dumper? The answer to that is that it is different for every person. And I really hate that answer because most of the time that's a cliche. Sometimes it's not different for everyone. Everything is not different for everyone. Sometimes it's very similar. And that's why we actually have stages, because usually people go through a similar process, especially for the 70% or so of people who dump someone and then decide they want to consider getting back together with them. And it is somewhere around that percentage. About 70% of people, if the relationship was good and you were older and mature, meaning that it's not, well, I've got to go away for college or I'm in high school and I want to try out different things. But for someone who is looking for a steady relationship, a committed relationship, and has found it with this person and things were going well, and then it seemed odd and it shocked you that they broke up with you. In that situation, if you do what I tell you to do in most of my videos, you have about a 70% chance of getting this person to come back to you. Now, that does mean that 30% of the time that they won't. And you're thinking, well, for me, it would be 100% one way or the other based on whatever happens. We can get into that another time. But just know that if you do what I'm telling you to do, that the odds are in your favor and that the experience is actually pretty similar. But the staging, trying to figure out what stage they're in, is going to be difficult. The relief stage can last anywhere from 3 or 4 days to 3 months. It usually is going to be somewhere around 2 weeks. That's kind of the average. After 20 years, patterns emerge. As a matter of fact, they emerged long before I reached the 20-year mark in relationship coaching. But patterns emerge, statistics emerge, and I'm able to see kind of what happens for the average person, but also I'm able to see some of those extremes. And so, yes, you can have a relief stage that lasts for 3 or 4 months. It's usually not beyond that. As a matter of fact, I don't know that I've ever seen it last beyond that. Sometimes it's deceptive. Sometimes you don't know what stage they're really in, and you might think they're still in relief. Of course, if you're in no contact, you wouldn't know. But for those of you who do have to have some contact with your ex, and I have a video on how to handle that. It's called Strategic Contact or Intelligent Contact, and I will link to that in the description below as well. But some of you maybe who have some observational capacity are saying they don't seem like they're relieved anymore, or they seem like they're in this stage or the other. It's just so hard to tell because it's going on inside of them and because they can fake it. And a lot of times relief is what they will project. They want you to think they're doing great. Mostly because they think maybe you'll leave them alone. That's someone who is still unsure. So they could actually be wanting you back, hurting, missing you, but at the same time, try to put on a strong front for you just because they don't want to have to deal with it right now, or because they're still unsure enough that they think that they could lead you on and they don't want to go down that road again. They don't want to hurt you again. and they're just not ready to make a decision. They're still reflecting and considering. And so it can look very deceptive as to what stage your ex is in. That being said, I'm going to get into what usually happens and a general guideline, a general map to what your ex is experiencing. Here goes. Most of the time, your ex thought about the breakup months ago. Maybe weeks, at least weeks, but usually it's going to be months ago. Something wasn't right. They felt like something just didn't feel like the relationship they used to know. And so they think about it. They discuss it with themselves. They figure they just need a little more time alone with you. And maybe that helps. Maybe they discuss some issues with you, like we're bickering a lot, or we don't talk enough, or we're moving in different directions, or I need more affection. There's all kinds of things they could say. And a lot of times those are a symptom. They're a symptom that attraction has fallen a little bit. And attraction has fallen possibly because of those things, but they become separate matters because once attraction falls, even if you fix the issue instantly, it takes time for attraction to come back. It's sort of like snake venom. Just because you know you've been bitten by a snake and the snake has been pulled away and killed and the fangs are no longer in you, the matter now is that the venom is in your body and it's going to take some medical effort and some time for you to survive. That's how it is when attraction falls. Just because the issues that caused attraction to fall are taken care of does not mean that attraction instantly comes back. And so even if work and progress has been made, attraction could be low enough that your ex could still want the breakup, which is very frustrating because especially when I'm doing phone coaching or when I'm speaking at a conference and someone comes up and they have a comment for me about what I said, they'll oftentimes tell me a little about their situation and ask a question. What I'm hearing is that a lot of times the person said, this is what's going on. I need this to be better. And there was effort made and this person still left. And so it's extremely heartbreaking because you made those changes and yet they still left. But it took them a while to get to the point of wanting to break up with you. It didn't just happen overnight. They didn't just wake up and say, I think I'll break up with my girlfriend, or I think I'll break up with my boyfriend today. It feels that way to you because it's new to you. Even if they were telling you we've got these issues, if you thought things were okay, if things were good, and you weren't expecting it, it is a blindsided attack. That's what it feels like. But to them, they've been thinking about it for a long time, which is why trying to talk them out of it, why arguing with them is so meaningless and accomplishes so little, because they have already had these arguments in their own mind. And they've said, no, I want to stay. I just need this. I just need to try. We just need to go out this weekend, be alone together, or just give it some time. They've already tried all these things. And so they are way ahead of you. It's like they have studied for weeks for the test, and you just found out there was a test 5 minutes ago. You two are on polar opposites. And so usually they seem cold, robotic, and even cruel. And that's because they're convinced. They're convinced they need to break up with you. So that's stage one. They are convinced. And a lot of times the things they will say are not true. Like sometimes they'll even say, we'll probably get back together at some point. Or I need to find myself. Or it's not you, it's me. Or I'm not ready for a relationship right now. Usually that's all just garbage that they will say because they think you can't argue with it and they don't want to deal with it. But even if you do try to talk them into it, usually they're much better prepared because they've already had these arguments inside of their own brain. So they begin their life without you. To them, it's going to be easy. They're going to ride off into the sunset. You'll be okay. You might hurt a little bit, but they don't really want to think too much about that because it makes them hurt. And so they just see that they're going to get away from you, that they're going to get away from the relationship because that's what it seems like they want. They don't see a place or a future for the two of you because attraction is lower and there's something else out there for them maybe. But at the moment, they just want to get over that hump, do that difficult, awkward thing of breaking up with you. Then you find one of my videos and I convince you to go into no contact and to use the no contact rule, which at first seems like it won't do anything. It seems like I'm telling you, just don't try, and they'll magically come back, which is not that bad of a line to take from it, as a matter of fact. But that's what it sounds like, which sounds ridiculous to you because it feels like you have to fight because of the seriousness of the situation. This is a person that you love so much. This is a relationship you cherished, and you've got to fight. You've got to do something. And to say don't actually seems like I'm lowering or denigrating the relationship when I'm not. I'm actually just understanding what's going on in the mind of this person and what they're experiencing and knowing what you have to do to get them to the right mind space where we want them. So you, maybe after the first few days, or maybe it's a few weeks where you were contacting them, you were trying to talk them into it, but finally I'm able to convince you. Maybe you barely believe me and you just think you'll give it a try just for a little bit. And you watch some of my other videos where I explain it a little bit more and you start to really become comfortable with the concept and the psychology of it. And I have a video called The Psychology of the No Contact Rule. Terrific watch if you really want to understand why it's so effective. I will link to that in the description below. But let's say you start using that rule. That's where things change dramatically for your ex. And here's how they do. When your ex breaks up with you, they are the ones in control. You don't have any control because you can't control what's happening. They're saying, I'm breaking up with you. And if you say, no, I won't allow it, that's just garbage because you'll probably get the police called on you if you don't get away from them. You don't have any control of the situation. Your ex, soon to be ex, is calling all the shots. And they're saying the relationship is in the crosshairs. All you can do is beg for mercy because at this point your ex is your dictator. They have all the control and all the say. You have nothing to say. You have no control. You only have loss. So as your ex leaves, there is this unspoken mindset and this unspoken expectation that they could get you back at any second if they wanted you back. If they wanted you back. They don't at the moment, so they're not even worried about that. But if they ever did, they feel like they could get you back because they're the ones who dumped you. You're the one who wanted to stay. And it feels like that's how it's going to be forever. They're the dumper, you're the dumped. That's what it feels like is going to be the permanent situation. They're in control, you lost. That's what it feels like. And that is what no contact will help change. Click that subscribe button below so that you can be notified when I have more videos like this. And take a look at my emergency breakup kit that I will link to in the description below. It's a powerful guide and 20 years of research and development as I've been a relationship coach and have been able to help people get their exes back. So take a look at the emergency breakup kit and the emergency marriage kit. There's a link to it in the description below. So no contact is what is going to take your ex from that stage of control to the stage of curiosity, because they're not hearing from you. And you see, if you were playing your role correctly as the dumped, the person who doesn't have control, you would be pursuing your ex because you want it. You want the relationship. Your ex is the one who does not and who's in control and saying, no, I'm sorry, you can't have it. So if you were to follow the role that you're supposed to play, you would be pursuing, begging, chasing, pleading, contacting, but you're not because you're using the no contact rule. Smart move. Because if you're not playing the role, there's curiosity about where you actually stand. Are you in that role? Are you in that part? Do you still want them back? Were they right to say that they were in control, to feel that they were in control? Because it's not something that they would say to you. But on the totem pole of attraction, they feel like they are higher than you because they're the ones who put you aside. And if it starts to feel like that's not the case, if you aren't playing that role, they're going to be curious. Not concerned yet, that's the next stage. But they're going to be curious. And curiosity, as I've said in other videos, is a precursor to attraction because you're different. You're unexpected. It's not what they were thinking would happen. And that will get them concerned because they think about it more and more. What if I'm not right with this breakup? What if this is not the right thing? What if I made a mistake? Could I get them back? Because that's their insurance policy. And when you take away the insurance policy, that they could get this wrong and actually have to experience negative consequences for it, that's when things get real. That's when they actually have to experience a real breakup instead of this fake breakup where they could call it all off at any second and have you running over there to them. It's not a real breakup. You experienced a real breakup where your heart's broken, you feel loss, you feel like something valuable has been tossed aside and the other person can't even understand that. That's what a real breakup feels like. And that's where they are headed. Because part of the experience here is that the tables get flipped. It's quite the ride. Because as they move into that stage where they're concerned, everything seems to underline their concern. Because they're not hearing from you day after day. And they think, I should be. And so they hop on social media. And things seem pretty normal there. You're not putting up little clips of sad poetry or talking about how things have been difficult for you. Because again, you've listened to me on that and what I've been able to observe and to know that that actually only hurts your chances. And so your ex sees your social feed and no, you're not saying, wow, this has been the greatest 3 weeks ever, but you're not social pouting. You're not trying to make a statement that you think will show them your pain and warm their heart because it won't work. All it will do is put them back into relief because they'll realize, oh, well, they still want it back. They still want me back. They're still hurting over this. So if I ever want them back, all right, cool. I can get them back in a second. And take a second to click the subscribe button below so that you can be notified when I have more videos like this one. And that brings us into the next stage. And for this video, we're going to call that stage fear. In my video stages your ex goes through, I use some different wording, but they're basically the same things. I like to use different wording in different videos for uniqueness and simply because I can explain it in another way. And I know a lot of you want to hear it in different ways so that you can underscore it in your mind and really have a strong reminder of why you're doing this and why it works. And so that's why sometimes I'll use different words, but they are words that mean the same thing. So your ex moves from concern into fear. So we started off with control. I'm trying to use C's here. In another video, I call it relief. And I've mentioned relief, and that's what they feel because they feel control. When you feel in control, it's such a relief. Your ex feels in control. They move from control to curiosity because you're not playing the part right. Then they move from curiosity to concern and from concern into fear. And it's fear that they have lost you. That if they wanted you back, and they're thinking they do now because they've actually had to really reflect and come to grips with the idea that they could lose you and that they could want you back and not be able to get you back. And now they're believing, or at least suspecting, that you've moved on. That maybe there's even somebody else. Or that you're angry at them to the point you would say no if they tried to get you back. And so now they are afraid that they have lost you. That breaking up with you was a huge mistake. So what are they going to do now? Well, that's where you do get that text. They do reach out. Where they even might come to you in tears and beg for you to take them back. And I know that sounds like music to your ears. It takes a while for this to happen. Usually it takes at least 45 days. And that's when the chemicals associated with separation anxiety reach their peak. So somewhere around that mark, sometimes it takes longer. But if they fight it, for example, it can take longer. And some people just fight. They fight against it. But no contact has a way of making it get more powerful every day in terms of what they feel. And usually you will find that they will reach out and consider getting back together with you. That's where if you've made those changes you need to make and you're actually a more attractive product, physically, intellectually, emotionally, when they come back or when they're considering it, then it's even a more likely situation that you two will get back together. But you notice that in this experience, there was a total flipping of the roles. You went from being the one experiencing the loss and they had the control to now they are afraid because it feels like you have the control, like you're the one who's moved on and they couldn't get you back. It's the exact same position. They feel like you control the status of the relationship. And so that's where you want things to get to. And I'm assuming that you're using the no contact rule. If you're not, this experience can be quite different. And it will be where they will be in this relief stage and you're trying to reach out, trying to talk them back into it. And what you end up doing is just bugging them. You make them more convinced that breaking up with you was the right thing to do because they can't get away from you. But you create the situation that it feels like they can't get to, that can't be obtained because you won't leave them alone. And so you make being without you even more and more and more attractive to them because they can't get there. And so they don't get to experience the breakup. It seems fake because they know they could get you back. They know you want them back. There's no concern. There's no loss. They still feel total control. In fact, that usually causes anger because you won't leave them alone and they can't get to that point where they feel like they are away from you. So if you're using the no contact rule, you don't have to worry about that. It will go in a different direction like I explained. Take a quick second, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, give it a like. And you can leave me a tip in my tip jar if you feel like this has been valuable to you. I'll leave that link in the description below. This has been Coach Lee, and as always, thank you for watching.